Hey, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing good. We're going to be doing a timeless reading. If you don't want to see the astrology portion, I'm going to have the tarot portion timestamped in the comment section below. But that said, I have the charts and transits right next to me. Let's go ahead and hop in. So, most notably, if you haven't already seen, Saturn is about to go direct. Let me fix my camera. Saturn is about to go direct. It has been retrograde for a while now, and it's a really beautiful thing because Saturn in retrograde is essentially, think of it like a parent, and you have all of these things that they have taught you, all of these rules and regulations and however you want to look at that, and then your parent kind of lets you go and do your own thing, right? Says, okay, I trust you to make the right decisions here. I trust you're going to do what you're going to do. And it's like maybe like your parent, like think of it like if you're a kid and your parents are going on vacation and they leave you to the house to yourself and they expect you to respect their home and all that kind of stuff. That's what Saturn in retrograde is like. And so Saturn right now has been on vacation, left us to our own devices, gave us the free will to make decisions that we felt were best for us and the people in our lives. And now Saturn is stationing direct here soon if it hasn't already started. And that's when you're going to start to see cycles and karma play out, whether for better or for worse, depending on the decisions you made while Saturn was retrograde. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going on with Saturn. I think this is probably the first time I've done a reading since we've started doing this, like with the astrology portion, where we haven't had a lot going on with Saturn. The only thing that I have going on with Saturn right now is Lilith opposing Saturn. Lilith being the dark feminine, Saturn being the planet of organized chaos and karma and justice, right? And so right now I feel like with those two in opposition, you're kind of at this point where you're starting to see the difference between utilizing manipulative tactics to get what you want, opposed to just living in your authenticity to express your needs and wants and values. And I feel like that's coming back to relationships. I mean, this is usually what we do readings for, right? And so this is kind of what I'm seeing here, man, especially with the moon sextile Venus, moon sextile Uranus. We have the moon trining Uranus, opposing Neptune, and trining Pluto, right? So you're really getting a good look right now at how you're approaching your relationships. And I feel like these are two people I'm seeing get on the same page. And so if there was any dissonance between you during Saturn retrograde, I feel like that period was a time for you to look at the ways in which you navigate how you get what you want out of your relationships. And so right now you're really reflecting on, okay, well, what exactly is it I'm seeking out of this relationship? Have I been approaching it in a way that is not, I don't want to say karmic in nature, because karma in itself can be its own discussion, but it's looking at the ways in which you approach the needs and wants of yourself and your person, and making sure that you're not overstepping their boundaries and you're not self-abandoning. And by self-abandonment, I mean you're not foregoing your own boundaries. You're not doing things that you're not saying yes when you want to say no. You're not agreeing to things that you will regret and hold resentment for. These are two people standing in their power, and by doing that, getting on the same page. But it's really interesting too, man, because Uranus, I feel like, is the planet of spiritual abilities and spiritual growth, if I am correct. And given the fact that we do have that trine or that sextile with the moon, as well as Uranus sextile Neptune, again, I'm feeling like there's this really deep sense of learning spiritual lessons through the ways in which you're approaching these issues in your relationships. I can't even say they're issues, right? I'm not seeing any like conflict or tension. I'm just seeing two people that like love each other so much. Like with the moon sextile Venus, there's like so much love between you and this person here that you're essentially willing to understand that there are going to be differences, and those differences can complement each other, right? You two will have your similarities and differences, and it's like through that third space of understanding those differences, that's where you find the compatibility and the growth. And so it's understanding the ways in which you both work, understanding your pasts, understanding your needs, wants, and desires, and how your shadow and how your triggers and trauma play into this relationship. Understanding that now that Saturn is going to be going direct, you're going to start to see things move in a more favorable fashion, depending on how you both have been moving in your individual lives. So long as you both have been doing the work, staying clear with your intentions with each other, and really not going against each other in a sense of like not being combative for the sake of being combative. This is where you're going to start to see a lot of that pressure be alleviated, right? I want to take a look at, do we have any squares? We have the node squaring the moon. We have the node squaring Pluto. And so that's where I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for you to relieve this stress. And that's essentially aligning your emotions with your desires moving forward. With the North Node, to me, that has to do with like life lessons and things you're here to learn and new things that you're here to master, right? And with the square to the moon and the square to Pluto, this is you understanding the deep, dark nature of your emotions, especially with Lilith opposing Saturn, and not letting that be the driving force in your relationships, understanding that there's going to have to be space for your emotions, their emotions, and both of your wants, needs, desires, traumas, and triggers. So I'm going to leave it there. Let's hop into the tarot portion. If you want to book a personal reading, subscribe to Patreon or listen to my music. All of that's in the description. I'm never going to contact you for a reading in any way, shape, or form. Only way to book a reading with me is to DM me on Instagram or send me an email. Keep in mind, these readings are general. If they do not fit, please do not force them. We're going to be using the Book of Thoth, clarifying with the ethereal visions. We have a stack out already. Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. And then we got like 2 stacks that fell out separately. Okay, let's just talk about the Six of Cups. Normally, I go over all the cards, but Six of Cups in a love reading, especially with the types of readings we do, is a powerful, powerful energy. This is a very beautiful energy to have the first card out being the Six of Cups. That is a reconciliatory energy, right? That is emotional balance, emotional reciprocation. If you notice, this is the card of the sun, right? You have the sun symbol here. It's kind of like, this could be Leo energy as well. We do have Scorpio energy. We do have Taurus. And we have all fire signs. I haven't looked at all the other cards, just what I'm seeing. But as an overarching theme between you and this person, I feel like there is the desire to just enjoy the relationship. I don't feel like there's that sense of tension. I don't feel like there's that sense of trying to control this, control that. This is 2 people letting each other live in their authenticity and loving them through that. Especially with the Queen of Wands at the bottom and the Magician. Right? And as you step into this new space of loving each other as you are, that's why the passion is growing. And that's why this is manifesting in a quicker way, not only because we have Saturn stationing direct, but because you two are seeing each other clearly now. And I feel like because you're just enjoying each other and enjoying the relationship, the love and the passion are growing. And I feel like there's a mutual desire to continue to manifest this relationship. Keep in mind, free will is a thing. But to me, it looks like you're both in a space of deciding that, yes, this is what I want for myself. This is what I want for my life. Let me also enjoy my life, but enjoy the relationship as well. I feel like these are 2 people that are understanding that it's like you don't have to do everything on your own, but you also don't have to put all of your energy into one area of your life. You can be able to enjoy the relationship and still enjoy your friendships and still enjoy taking yourself on dates and still enjoy each other's company if you go on dates or you're connecting or however that is looking for you. These are 2 people that are deciding, you know what, this makes me happy. Let me continue to invest in this. First stack out, we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Prince of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. We have the Princess of Pentacles. Back to the Ace. A lot of very solid, grounded energy. This is all Pentacle energy. Aside from the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, this is all Pentacle energy here. This is 2 people on the same page. Princess and the Prince of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles. And the Lovers. That's like counterpart energy right there. These are 2 people that are deciding that, you know what, I'm gonna continue to invest in this relationship because I feel like you both are now seeing this as like, there's like a more practical approach being taken here. You know, we've talked about in the past where there was a sense of putting plans into action. There was a sense of, you know, discussing the details and all of that kind of stuff and all of the really cerebral stuff that was coming with this relationship. But what I'm seeing now, these are 2 people that have like come to terms with what that would mean for both of you. These are it's like 2 people that are on the exact same page. They're in alignment with each other as we've been reading for this relationship here. These are 2 people that are just, you know what, saying this is what I want to do, but it's taking a more serious approach now. Whereas I feel like in the past, can also be seen as the past energy between you and this person. It was very passionate, it was very fiery, it was very fun. and all of the good stuff was there, but it was missing the stability, right? You notice, I mean, the magician does contain all of the elements for sure, and I feel like that's kind of what this whole process was about. You and this person were you were just trying to get to know each other in a way that was going to allow you to understand what you both need. Right? When you try to meet another person's needs, or you're in a relationship like this, you have to understand that a lot of the times, not a lot of the times, but sometimes a person may not be able to meet every single need. Even in the healthiest of relationships, there's always going to be a give and take and an ebb and flow. There's going to be balances of power that are going to be shifting. Power dynamics are going to shift. The ability for somebody to show up or not show up for you has no reflection on your worth, or doesn't bring into question the validity of your emotions or your needs. And I feel like that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing two people understanding that it's like, so long as both people make the decision to show up, that's what will bring in the stability. This isn't like a power play. There's no more games. There's no more confusion. These are two people that are saying, look, this is what I want for my future within myself, and it looks like you want that too. Why don't we work together to do that? That's what it looks like. These are two people who are looking at things very logically and saying, you know what, this is, on paper, it may be a little unconventional in some ways, but I feel like this is something where two people understand that because of that, and because of the differences, that's exactly why it will work, okay? And let's go and tap into the other stack. We have Death, Five of Pentacles, Princess of Cups, Five of Cups, Knight of Wands, the Moon, back to the Death. I feel like there's like an old way of life closing out here. It's kind of what it seems like to me. It's like there's something, if you have been in some sort of separation with this person, or maybe there has just been a lot of, it looks like there was a lot of difficulties you two faced, right? There was a lot of things that were hidden. And I feel like the things that were hidden were just fears. This is what's really interesting to me. You two are almost like mirroring this in each other. The dissonance that you were experiencing here was the fear of being taken advantage of, being played, being cheated on, or whatever that looks like. But it looks like you two were amplifying that. So it's like there was that mutual fear of the other person basically just like being a whole liar, right? Like just manipulating things behind the scenes, or maybe not being who they portrayed themselves to be. But what I'm seeing is like those fears are being completely let go of. And I feel like, again, that's because you're both still here. It's not so much a matter of like, oh, what are this person's intentions? Because I feel like that's already been established. It's understanding that it's like you both are still here. And I feel like that's kind of what this person was waiting to see, if you would still be here, if you would still be sticking this out with them. And I think that goes both ways. These are two people that at one point were like, I don't know, can I trust this person? Is this relationship stable? Is this somebody who's actually, you know, is what they're saying true? You know, are their actions genuine? And I feel like after that period of conflict that we saw here with the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, a lot of disappointments and perhaps even just arguments and conflict that you may have experienced with this person, it is through that conflict and through the subsequent continuous presence in each other's lives that is solidifying the fact that this is something solid, this is something stable, and is something that you both are continuing to invest in despite any difficulties you may have faced in the past. Let's go ahead and continue to clarify the Lovers, Prince of Discs, and Princess of Discs with the Ace of Discs. We have the Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands, Five of Wands, and the Fool. Bottom of the deck we have the Aeon. Okay, this is essentially encompassing like as above so below. As above, so below energy. These are cycles. This is what, 20 in this deck? I want to say this is maybe Judgment, come to think about it. I don't know if there is any. Well, in this deck they have their own particular cards, but to me this actually does come across as Judgment. This is the first time I've seen that card as Judgment. So I feel like these are two people that have made a judgment call about each other. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, and the Five of Wands. These are two people that are deciding, okay, yes, there have been challenges, but those challenges can be overcome, because I feel like any challenges that you were facing had more to do with your internal reality than the actual relationship. Remember, we saw all of that crazy energy with the Knight of Wands and the Moon and the Death and the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. When I see the Moon in the context of these cards, that is internal. Those are fears. That is the shadow aspect. That is Lilith energy, right? We had the Lilith opposing Saturn right now, Saturn going direct. And this can be seen as Saturn going direct. This is the card of Saturn. It is, well, it's the card of Jupiter, and Sun is currently opposing Jupiter. But aside from the point, yeah, I feel like a lot of those fears that you were facing in this relationship were just that. Fears, illusions, things that you both needed to see through. And I feel like that's because a new passionate beginning or cycle has begun here. These are two people. It's like the universe has stepped in and is presenting you both with the opportunity to do this on a higher level, right? And so again, when we talk about these relationships, these are, I mean, we're talking about like lifelong relationships. We're talking about long-term relationships when we do these readings. And these are relationships that move in cycles. There's ebbs and flows. There's things to be built. There's space to be taken. There's times to connect. There's times to disconnect and reflect. And that really just depends on your own lives as individuals, right? But what I'm seeing is like these are two people that have been provided with the opportunity to take that leap of faith, to take that risk, and to understand that in order to take that risk, it's just going to be a continuous you two showing up. And yeah, there are going to be challenges. There's going to be a lot of challenges in any relationship. However, I don't see that as something being anything that's stopping you two from really doing this. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool and the Ace of Wands, the fact that we have two major arcana clarifying the lovers, that's essentially the universe just saying, you know what, you guys have been through what you needed to go through. I feel like you each went through your individual karma, and karma is always something to be cleared, and it is an ongoing process. You know, you end one karmic cycle, you enter another karmic cycle. That's that energy here where two people are, again, closing out cycles, one after another. It's a continuous process where you're both growing together, right? And so if there was ever a point where you felt like maybe this person was outgrowing you, or you were outgrowing them, that was really never the case, because it looks like you two were growing in congruence the entire time. Let's go ahead and clarify the Ace of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Fool. We have the Hanged Man. We have the Sun. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Priestess. Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is a deeply spiritual connection, man. I mean, for the relationships I read for, it's really no question that that's the case, because that's what we do here. So we have the High Priestess, we have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Hanged Man, and we have the Sun. So I feel like it's like the universe is showing you a way forward. You're in this space now where, because you're still showing up in this relationship, because you both have made the conscious decision to continue to invest in each other, the universe has now stepped in and said, okay, because remember, the universe responds to you and your energy and your thoughts. And so this is something where, because you're keeping your thoughts focused on your manifestation or your goal, both of you are doing that. Keep in mind, if you are both focusing on that same intention, and both of you are focused on each other and building the relationship, the universe is going to move that along faster. But a lot of the times you do still need to focus that within yourself to be able to understand why you may be holding yourself back. I feel like you worked through that already. You worked through those fears, and fears will still come up down the line. I'm sure when things get even more serious, more fears will come up. That's just kind of what happens in these relationships, man. But the universe has really given you the opportunity to start a new cycle. I know I keep saying that, but it's just what comes through. And I feel like because you're seeing the deeper spiritual lesson here. The Hanged Man and the Priestess. Normally the Priestess and the Magician would be considered counterparts, but I also do see these as counterparts. Okay, we have the Priestess and we have the Hanged Man. These are both cards of wisdom, hidden truths, things that needed to be brought to light. And I feel like that had a lot to do with just your own karmic cycles. Okay, I feel like the Sun and the Three of Pentacles here, that is essentially things that are in the works, and this is understanding that it's like, this is going to take time, energy, and investment from both of you. And I feel like you're both understanding that on a deeper level. But more than anything, what I'm seeing is two people here who have learned. It's like, I don't know, it's like these are two people that are like, if you want to get into like telepathic and energetic communication, these are two people that are on the same page. Wavelength, energy, everything. And if there are things that are unspoken, I feel like there's a lot of things that you're both understanding about each other and the connection, whether or not that has been spoken about. I feel like there are a lot of unspoken truths that are essentially going to start coming to light about this relationship. I feel like the universe is slowly but surely revealing things about this relationship to both of you, through your own working through of the fears and all of that kind of stuff that we were just talking about. I would like to see what is being revealed here exactly. I mean, obviously, yes, the depths of the love, the intuitive connection, the growing empathy and compassion for each other as individuals and as a couple. What is being revealed here to us? So we do have the Aeon again. Cycles, karma, blessings. We have the Ace of Swords, we have the Seven of Cups, we have the Chariot, and the Ten of Cups. So this to me feels like illusions of society and societal expectations. You know what I'm seeing? What's being revealed is the fact that if there was at one point a stage in the relationship where you, or either you or this person weren't sure how to move things forward, that's what's being revealed. So when I see the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Cups, this is getting very clear on the fact that this can be that long-term fulfilling love that you have both been looking for. And I feel like the universe is slowly but surely revealing that this is what you've been seeking in each other. So I feel like these are two people that were looking in the wrong places for so long. You know, the Chariot and the Seven of Cups. Working through a lot of different illusions. I feel like there was like the illusion of choice. Which is interesting because I haven't really had that phrase ever come up in a reading. But the illusion of choice. The fact of the matter is, like, you both know what you want, to the point where there really is no other decision, right? These are two people, because they understand themselves so well, they know exactly what it is they want, and I feel like that is each other, right? We had a lot of counterpart energy. We have the Lovers, we had the Prince and Princess of Pentacles, we have the Priest, the Priestess, and the Hanged Man, right? And so again, I just feel like these are two people that are like, it's like tunnel vision for each other and your futures. But I feel like what's being revealed is the fact that it's actually possible. Before, I feel like we talked about this before, it was very emotionally charged. Especially with all the fears. There was a lot of fears influencing this relationship. And this could also be fears from, like, friends maybe imparting unwanted advice, or this could just be opinions of others around you about their own experiences and relationships. But I feel like you both are in this space where you're not, it's like you're tuning out all of the noise and you're focusing on what your happiness would look like. Whether or not friends, family, or society would see that as conventional or not, you two are essentially just focusing on the love here. You're seeing the fact that there is a very, very deep love. We just dropped the Queen of Cups. A very deep, emotionally fulfilling relationship between you two. And I think this is something that you both have been wanting for a very long time. I'm going to keep clarifying this. I want to see what's going on with the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Cups. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Five of Swords, Hierophant, and Strength. So bottom of the deck we have the Prince of Wands. We have Strength, Hierophant, Nine of Cups, and the Five of Swords. That's exactly what I was just talking about, man. The clarity coming through here is through the dissonance of the surroundings, okay? This to me looks like a friend group or a friendship or some sort of long-standing, some sort of like, there's like somebody in this person's life that had some sort of influence to a degree. that was trying to keep this person stuck and living a particular lifestyle. Maybe this is somebody who is not known for settling down, or maybe you're not known for settling down, or neither of you have been people who have really been seeking that kind of long-term love and relationships at one point in your lives. And I feel like it's like as you two are changing, a lot of the people around you are kind of starting to question you and or your person. So I feel like these are people that are, that's where the truth is coming in here. The fact that, like, I don't know, man, this Hierophant Nine of Cups energy to me feels like somebody that's like very self-serving energy, that likes to cause conflict, that likes to try to start drama where there should be none, right? And I feel like, again, because the Ace of Swords is here with the Ten of Cups, it's like, and the Chariot and the Seven of Cups, like somebody is just leaving behind a very, how do you even put this, some sort of mindset. It doesn't even have to be a person. Like, I feel like this is just something that was keeping you or this person stuck. It was a mental cycle that was very cyclical, that was tied to the way you should move in your life and relationships in terms of how society expects that to move. That makes sense. I feel like I'm starting to repeat myself a little bit here, so let me go ahead and clarify with, well, what is this, the Ethereal Visions. Okay, what do we have here? Yep, we have the Ace of Swords again. So I feel like you're going to start getting more clarity on this relationship if you haven't already, and I feel like that's going to come in through a number of ways. It's going to come in through signs and synchronicities. I feel like this person is more than likely going to start communicating a little bit more if they have not. If the communication has been sparse, I see that improving. We have the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we don't have the Tower, so I can't really say, but I feel like we have the Tower. As soon as I said that, we have the Tower. I don't think you see this coming, man. I think you're going to be very surprised at how quickly this starts to move. When things do start to move, especially with Saturn going direct, we have the Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the Magician. So we do have a lot of different counterpart energy. We have the Priestess, we have the Magician, we have the two Princess of Pentacles. And I just feel like this is something where it's like, it's going to happen quickly. It's going to be something that when it does come in, when you get that strike of truth, or maybe you get like an intuitive insight into an action you should take or something that you should say, I feel like this is going both ways. You're both kind of, it's almost like a touch and go where you're both, okay, like you're both here for this, you're both investing, trying to figure out what those next steps are. And as you both start to get that clarity, because we have two Ace of Swords, I can see that as both of you getting very clear on what the next steps will be, how you want to communicate that, and how you want to essentially move forward in this relationship in a way that is going to allow you both to find that deep sense of belonging, is what I'm hearing. I feel like these are two people who just don't feel like they belong in the groups around them. They don't feel like they fit into society, and I feel like these are two people that are finding that within each other, finding that deep sense of companionship. It's like the love is there, the romance is there, the friendship is there, all of it is there. We have the Ten of Cups, we have the Ten of Pentacles. It's like you're finding everything that you've been looking for separately in one person. And so if you both were just in this mindset of like, I have to have this person as a best friend, and this person is my lover, and this person is the friend I go to for this, and this person is the friend I go to for that, you're both now seeing that it's like everything that you were each looking for in different people, you're finding in this relationship. And that's slowly but surely being revealed as you're getting to know each other and as you're beginning to build this relationship. Let's get some final clarity here on this. Some final advice on how to maneuver this new, very abundant cycle that you're working towards. I feel like you're both overcoming a lot of challenges in your relationship, and it's really solidifying the commitment that you both have towards each other. So let's get some final advice, please. We have the Two of Wands, we have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Swords. Five of Cups, bottom of the deck. Do not focus on what has gone wrong. Focus on the path ahead is what I'm hearing. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, or no, Page of Swords, Page of Wands, and the Two of Wands. Be very decisive. You know, this, when I see the Two of Wands, I feel like this is shared energy. These are two people sharing a wand, right? Both sharing the, it's like there's a sense of equality coming into the relationship. balance. And remember, reciprocity doesn't always have to be equal. It's just so long as both people are showing up and showing love and trying to meet needs where they can. That's what I'm seeing here. That's kind of the advice here is show up as yourself, you know, trying to be what you think this person needs or wants or loves is only going to create more confusion. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing. These are two people stepping into their authenticity in a deeper way than they have before because you feel safe with this person, because they feel safe with you. You're now free to really be yourselves. Whereas I feel like you both at one point had to try to fit into particular groups or I guess, what do you call it? Industries, or even just in a particular career path, or even within your family or friend groups. These are two people that are now understanding that they don't have to play a role with each other. So if you both are people that are in particular industries where you have to play a role, you're now being able to let that guard down, and there's a really deep sense of playfulness and joy, and it's just like the communication is lightening up, the passion is lightening up. A lot of the difficulties and disappointments that you have faced here, it's just like it strengthened your relationship, and it brought a lot of balance to you both, right? And so I feel like you're coming out of this hangman energy in the reverse. It's like you both have really undergone a deep spiritual cleanse, I'm hearing. You guys have gone through this really major transformation here. And I feel like with the Seven of Cups, the mask's coming off, man. Like you're both just no longer going to put up a facade. And not necessarily that you were doing it with each other. But I feel like you both were so accustomed to wearing that mask in society that you almost thought that that's who you were. But that's being released. And this is what that relationship is teaching you both. That you don't have to be anybody but yourself to be worthy of love and to be able to receive that love from each other. And you guys are just like, it's like a very raw and vulnerable energy where you're just loving each other exactly where you're at. Not projecting onto them, not expecting them to change, not forcing them to be something they're not. Letting them be themselves, loving them as they are with all of their flaws and just that being what it is. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think this is a relationship where you both are so in your own authenticity that it's undeniable that you guys are a match for each other. It's undeniable that this love is what you both have been looking for. So, that, I mean, yeah, as a final advice, man, continue to show up, continue to be yourself, continue to love your person where they're at and let them love you. Let that love in. Give love where you want to give it. And that's just what it is, man. I'm going to leave it right there. If you want to book a personal reading, subscribe to Patreon or listen to my music. All of that's in the description. I will never contact you for a reading in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, that said, I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you in the next reading. Goodbye.